Hi, my name's Ray Bowdish. I'm from the State University of New York at Potsdam College Biology Department. I'd like to talk to you today about use of the compound light microscope, binocular scope that we are using in lab this year. And I'd like to introduce you first to the various parts of the scope. We could start here at the top. The part closest to your eye is called the ocular lens or eyepiece. Either is okay to use. Here we have an adjustment for those ocular lenses. If we move down from the ocular lenses to the nose piece, here you'll see the objective lenses. The objective lenses are closest to the object, which is an easy way to remember it. The next lens you'll need to know is the condenser lens. I'm moving the condenser down here with the condenser lens knob. And just to show you how that operates, and you can see now here the light source at the very bottom. The base of the microscope here is where the switch to turn the unit on is, which is right here. So when we press it down here, the light comes on. There's also a slider that's useful to increase or decrease the amount of light that's coming through. If we follow the path of light to your eye, it comes out of the light source and is first focused through the bottom of the subject, and light can be reduced or increased. If I move it to the left, it reduces it with a iris diaphragm lever. If I move it back to the right, it increases the light on the subject. I put it roughly to as closed as I can for the subject we're looking at here, which are sponge spicules, the sort of skeleton of a sponge. And the light then moves through the subject into the scanning objective lens. This is at 4x. If we multiply that times a 10x ocular lens, we know that we have a 40 magnification on this subject. If we move forward with using the eyepiece here, the next objective lens says 10x on it, multiplied by the 10 on the ocular, and we know this is 100 magnification. So to set this scope up, we always start at the scanning or the lowest power objective, the 4x objective, and we need to first adjust the scope to our eyes and then adjust the focus. Adjusting it to our eyes first, the interpupillary distance, or the distance between our eyes, we want to move this slider back and forth until we see a perfect circle in our view. Seeing two images means, or having to close one eye means that you don't have the proper interpupillary distance. The second thing you might want to do is to get used to the distance you need to be away from the oculars. So if you move slowly into the oculars, the field of view will eventually become complete, and you'll learn exactly what distance you need to keep your eyes from the oculars. The next thing we need to do then is to adjust the focus for each eye. This is a fixed ocular. This is a variable focus, and the diopter ring on the outside is what adjusts that. So for me to focus on this particular object, and after the light is on, I'm going to use a piece of paper to cover my left eye, because the fixed objective, the fixed ocular is the one I want to look through first and bring into focus. I can focus with the coarse focus knob when I am on the lowest power scanning objective lens, but if I move up to a higher power, from that point on I should always use the fine focus knob. This will keep you from accidentally breaking the slide by over focusing or focusing too closely to your subject. You can easily break the slide. So always use fine adjustment knob there. Covering the left eye then, I look in and focus my objective on my object. When I see that, I move it to the right eye and look in, and this time I use the diopter. And when I have them both clearly in focus, I make sure that my interpupillary distance is correct and take note of the number. Okay? A few other features of this scope: we can we can loosen this thumb screw here to allow the ocular lenses to swing around so that you can use this scope at various angles and attitudes. Show your instructor, for instance, what you're doing, and then move back to be comfortable at your own angle. A few other things you need to know about the scope. Whenever I carry a scope, it's 2 hands. Whenever you carry a scope, it needs to be 2 hands. This is an expensive instrument and needs to be cared for properly. Also, at the end of each lab, I want all of the scopes to be on the lowest power objective. The lowest power. Some scopes may be missing an objective. Please do not put the nose piece in a position where the objective lens is blank, because when you look through, you won't see anything. Okay? The other thing that is good to do is to lower the stage as far as you can to allow the next person access to it. And then finally, always remove your subject. Okay, that's the primer on use of the compound light microscope. The last thing I can tell you is for narrow cabinets, you've got to make sure that this adjustment is all the way in, or else it won't fit into the cabinet space.